Alright, I am back, and today we are going to be taking a look at the Toyworld Infinitor, or Fortress Maximus, if you will. So here's a quick look at the massive box. And this is a case of where, I don't care about the packaging, but this is actually pretty nice packaging. You got the black, it's a really nice finish to it, and it's artwork of the figure as opposed to just product shot. Or if it's a product shot, they've got artwork over it, and it's hard to tell. Over here we got the gray version of that. On the back we got some product shots. So there's the figure, the head, there's Battleship mode. And on this side we've got base mode and another base mode. This is the one we're actually going to transform it into, because I think this is the one that's most successful for this scaled figure. I never liked this on Fortress Maximus. I think this is the dumbest looking thing ever. I mean, it literally just looks like a robot laying down. That's true of the original G1 Fortress Maximus. It's true of this one. It will continue to plague it forever, because this looks stupid. This just looks stupid. This one would require some parts forming, so that's why we're not going to go with that one. But we're going to go with this one, because this one I think is the most successful, and it works all right. Then we get the big black Toyworld, and then some more product information on the bottom. That's upside down. You can't read it, although I can't read it anyway. So there you go. And of course, it's got the really nice thick styrofoam inserts to protect him. And there is Fortress Maximus, and he's a big boy. And yes, I understand a lot of people. This is a mixed bag here, because a lot of people really like this in this scale, and a lot of people really hate this in this scale. Some people hate the fact that it's just basically a more articulated version, smaller version of the G1. They want more updates, like the Perfect Effect one, which was essentially just the head. It really depends on where you think, for you, Fortress Maximus fits in. Because depending on which, what you're reading or watching, he's different sizes. From what I understand, the G1 Headmasters, which I never watched, the Japanese, he was close to like Ultra Magnus scale. Could be wrong on that. I'm not 100% on that one. I never watched it. I know in the comics he did start off really big, but eventually ended up being about the size of Optimus. So really depends on do you want him as a leader, or do you want him more as a city bot? Because if you want him as a city bot, this will not be the right one for you, unless you're collecting the Legend scale, which, just real quick, this works pretty well. If this was your Optimus, I mean, this works great. But anyway, we'll get into scale more later. But so it really depends on where you're at. Me, I'm still torn, because, and I'll get into that later, but this is a good figure. That's the one thing I can say without a doubt. It is a good toy. And it's a fun toy too. So anyway, accessory wise, he comes with this rifle, which just plugs into his hand. You can plug it into the other hand. There are 5mm ports all over this guy, so you can plug it in the front of his shoulder if you wanted to. We can store it on his back, like so. We can store it on the legs, right? Yeah. Store it on the legs. Store it upside down on the legs. there's some options going on here. You can start on this back piece here. Yeah. Anyway. So yeah, that's his one accessory. He comes with the big gun. Also, he does have the headmaster gimmick. You can pull that off. You just fold the legs down, take them apart, rotate them, and there's the headmaster. And no, he's not a double headmaster like the G1 one, but it would be really hard for them to do that, pull that off on this particular figure, because that would mean this would have to be a headmaster right here. And that's just not, that's too small. Poseability on the little guy, shoulders on a ball joint, good range of motion there. Elbows on a ball joint, but it's cut inward, so if you want to use it, it's more like that than it is just a straight elbow. Nothing at the waist. Hips are on ball joints, and the knee is on a ball joint. It's a pretty good range of motion for a little guy. And then transforming back, you just flip the knees around. These will tab together, and this will fold up like that. And then this here will just tab in right there. Just rotate the camera up a little bit so we can see what we're doing a little bit more. So you can flip this piece here down, and in there you can see like the old G1 headmasters, kind of like some tech specs going on there, although it's just straight bars. These pieces open up. It's more for combined mode, but if you have him, let's see, can we fit? Yeah, he can't fit. Well, he can fit in there, yeah. So you can fit him in there if you wanted to, like that. Same thing on the other side if you wanted to. I don't want to, but if you had other headmasters, you could do that. Other weapons we got going on here, we got shin guns. Just flip those up, and he's got shin guns. We got this piece here. They'll fold out. There's another gun right there if you want that. It's kind of being a pain here, but you can do that if you want to. And this really can, I had it folded up like this, but you can, I think technically it's supposed to go on the back like this. Just be out of the way. Then he does have these little panels here that will flip up, and these tiny little wrist blasters right there, which are pretty cool. One of those little details I didn't need to do. You can also rotate the arms up a little bit, trying to move things out of the way. And then he's got these waist guns that come out right there. So yeah, pretty cool. Pretty cool. Poseability, his head rotates left and right. No up and down, which is unfortunate, but do the headmaster gimmick, that's always a hard one to do. Arms swivel up and down. Nice stiff ratchet going out. Bicep swivel. Double bend elbow. Wrist rotates. Fingers open and close. Waist ratchets around. Hips ratchet up. Back. In and out. There is a thigh swivel. Bends at the knee, and then the foot has a major rocker in there, and tilt. So, I mean, you can get him in some very wide stance if you wanted to. Although this is definitely a figure that I honestly think should be straight up and down, because that's just character of Fortress Maximus. Like, yeah, I just think he is supposed to be straight up and down. That's me. hard to show everything off. Excuse me. Alright, so transformation. Let's get into transformation. So like I said, I'm going to go to the one of the city modes as opposed to, or one of the base modes as opposed to the Battleship mode, because that thing's just stupid looking. So what we want to do here is we'll start by pulling these out right here. Just kind of getting these out of the way. And then we want to take this section here, pulls down, and these will rotate around like so. Rotate this, and rotate this. This will come down, and there's a tab right there that'll plug in that hole right there. So you just plug that in. And then these will plug together like so. Pull the head off. Set that off to the side. We'll get back to that later. Alright. Then what we want to do here is this will flip up like so. And rotate the arms around like this. Open this panel here. You can flip the hand in. Close that panel up. Put the arm straight, and then this whole ramp here will plug onto the arm like that. Same thing over here. Now, I never really had the original Fortress Maximus, so I can't tell you what our difference is aside from the size and poseability. So, you know, I just kind of tell you if I think it's cool. So I can't say if it's comparable or not. Then you want to take the legs here, and there's this panel right here. Flip this out. This will rotate around. And tabs in, like so. Flip it out. Tab it in. This will rotate up like this, and collapses up like so. Same thing over here. Just like so. Then this piece here, you'll just kind of supposed to go like this, but you can kind of angle it however you'd like. Yeah, if you want it like this, you could do that. Nothing wrong with that at all. I think that's where I'm going to leave it. Looks pretty good there. All right. Camera down. This piece here will flip out and down, and then this piece here flips out. I have a hard time getting to it, so we'll use a little screwdriver. And there's the ramp. Take this and let's just plug it in to the side right here. And then you can take this piece here, fold that down, and there you have base mode. And I think it's pretty cool. Yeah, it's not big enough to really be all too useful for, you know, regular sized figures. But if you have some of these headmasters, you can put them in there. So we can open up this piece here. I'm just gonna put him in there. So we got that going on. So that's pretty cool. And then I have the Hasbro Brainstorm sitting right over here. So we take this little guy. We're going to take him and put him into this seat here. So there you go. So yeah, it works really well if you got some headmasters. And for me, I'm perfectly okay with that idea. That he's a city mode for the smaller figures, for the really small figures. Why not? I mean, it can't hurt. I think it works. I mean, I don't expect everything to be the size of Metroplex, the Hasbro Metroplex. Although the original G1 figure is the size of the Metroplex. So I mean, I guess it all really depends on you. Like I was saying, do you want it to be huge or do you want it to be tiny? So get him out of the way. Pull him out. And then other city modes are like, let's see. You take this out, rotate the waist around, I believe. Come on. Stiff joints. And then this will come around like this. And sits kind of like this. Something like that. And it's like, it's not that big of a deal to me. And then the let's see, flight mode. I'm just looking at the picture here. Flight mode is guess we can do this real quick because it's not that difficult. There's Battleship mode. I didn't like this concept on the first Metroplex figure. I do not like it on this, or Fortress Maximus. I do not like it on this one. Nothing anyone says or does is ever going to make me sit here and say, huh, that's a great transformation. I mean, it is literally a robot laying down. That's it. Alright, so take the gun out. Split this canopy section here. So rotate around like so. Flip these around, and then there's a little peg right here. They'll plug into that hole right there. So just kind of line that up. Tab it in. Line it up and tab it in. This will fold up, and then this whole section will fold down, just like so. We have to retab everything. Alright. Fold the feet down. Angle this however you want it. Rotate this. Rotate this. This will flip back, just like so. Open this up, flip the hands out. Take the little guy, rotate him back, and plug that in, give him his gun, and there you go. Like I said, I really like him. Oh, we forgot something here. You want to take this panel here, and this will flip back. Oh, that's in there tight. There we go. Flip this back around. Close up that hole. Same thing over here. goes in so tight. There we go. All right, then there we go. Now let's talk some size comparison, and then we'll go into our final thoughts. So again, here he is with the Legends figure. I think that it depends on where you want your Fortress Maximus. If you're collecting just the Legends figures, like the DX9 ones and stuff like that, then this, and you want your Fortress Max to be huge, then this is a great option for you. Alright, then if you got there's the classic Seeker mold. Again, I mean, he's huge in comparison to the Seeker, so it depends on where you want him to scale. It's him and Scorponok are really hard to sit here and say, oh well, the scale should be this, because they change more than anybody else, and drastically. Out of the way. Here he is with Classics Prime. Again, I think this would work pretty well with Chug scale if you want him bigger. And here he is with the Leader class Jetfire, and he is a hair taller than the Jetfire, so he's definitely in the Leader class scale. So if you want him to be Leader class with a Optimus or something like that, then this is a good scale. And then one more scale I want to show off real quick. Here he is with MP10. And not only do I have to say they scale pretty well together, if you want him to be more of like a leader figure as opposed to Giant City, but I think design-wise they look pretty good together too. I mean, aside from his head, but there's not much you can do with a Headmaster head. But he's got the detail, he's got the design, I really like him. And I'm torn on keeping him or not. You know, I've got him posted on Facebook right now to sell or trade, but I'm kind of torn on keeping this guy because he is that cool. I really like this figure. It's a fun toy. Its plastic is superb. I'm gonna say the plastic quality on this figure is actually getting pretty close to MMC. Not quite there yet, but it's getting close. And that's shocking to me because this is Toyworld. They've really improved. I haven't gotten any of their new throttle bots. I can't sit here and say that everything they've done has improved. But this particular figure has definitely improved over some of the previous figures I've had from their company, and I really like him. Now, scale aside, the only thing I could see that I don't like, or I wouldn't say I don't like, it's just kind of bugs me, is the head. Because he should be a double Headmaster, and he's not a double Headmaster. But again, with the size, there's nothing you could really do with that. So it depends on you, where you want your Fortress Maximus. Do you want him to be a Giant City? Then this won't work, unless you're using Legends figures. If you want him to be, you know, leader class with the classics, you know, Prime, so he's going to be leader class like a Jetfire, then that would work. If you want him to be about the same size of your Optimus, then he works in MP scale. So it all depends on you, where you want him to be. I personally love this figure. It's a great figure, and I'm going to give him a I'm going to give him a 10 out of 10. I think he's pretty superb. I like the poseability. I like the G1 aesthetic. I love G1 aesthetics. You know, like Optimus Prime. Yeah, he's more G1 cartoon, but this guy looks just like the original G1 toy, only smaller and more posable and more durable. Okay, I'll take that last statement back, because I've never had the first one, and from what I hear, he's very durable. But he's more durable than like the knockoffs that are smaller. So, and that's another thing. It's like a lot of people bought the knockoffs because they're smaller and more Voyager scale, and that's where they wanted him to be. So this is that option. This is the best option for that. So if you're looking for something like that, then get him. Like I said, I haven't completely decided if I want to keep him or not. So I don't know. But as of right now, I'm really happy with him. I love this figure. I think he's great. I like the weight. I like the mass. I like the bulk, the poseability. It's kind of refreshing to have a good figure after the Combiner Wars. This thing just stomps all over the Combiner Wars figures. They don't even compare to this thing. So anyway, there you go. Toyworld's Fortress Maximus. He's awesome. I recommend him. Try and find a way to squeeze him in. And if they do a Scorponok in this scale, oh my god, I'm gonna be the happiest camper in the world. Just oh my god, Hasbro and Make Toys can be damned if they make a Scorponok in this scale, because this is where I want my Scorponok, because I like my Scorponok to be about the size of Optimus. So, and he should be able to fight him. I think that'd be great. That's where I want my Scorponok to be. So maybe I'll just keep him until we find out if Toyworld's doing Scorponok. Please, Toyworld, do a Scorponok like this. Oh my god, that'd be so awesome. And make it G1 accurate. I mean, that would just be awesome. I can't even express how happy that would make me. Don't get me wrong, the Make Toy one looks cool, but it's not. It is way Neo. Way Neo. This is G1, and that's where I want my Scorponok to be, is G1 style. So, anyway, there you go. I'm done.